Ethan is a taxi driver, but he doesn't own his own car. Instead, he works for a large taxi company, driving a different vehicle each day. Ethan is a handsome man, and he often receives invitations from female passengers to parties and on dates. However, he always politely declines. The reason for his refusal is a woman named Isabella. He's in love with her, but they've never spoken. In fact, he's never even met her in person. Ethan is in love with a portrait of Isabella Rosewood that hangs in the City Art Gallery. Her name is displayed on a plaque next to the painting. Every morning, Ethan arrives at the taxi company at 5 a.m., an hour before his shift starts, to clean his assigned taxi for the day. He goes above and beyond the company's rules, which only require drivers to clean their cars after their shift. He finds that many of his colleagues neglect this duty. After his shift ends at 3 p.m., Ethan heads straight to the art gallery. He's a fan of art in general, but his true reason for visiting is the painting of Isabella. He spends a long time just standing in front of it, admiring her beauty. He even bought a catalog from the gallery that contains a small photograph of the painting, which he keeps by his bedside. The woman in the portrait is young and beautiful, dressed in a white satin gown and adorned with diamond and emerald jewelry. Her gaze seems to follow Ethan, and he imagines that she is looking directly at him. He daydreams of her being alive and being his girlfriend, a bittersweet fantasy since Isabella Rosewood passed away in 1927. He knows it's an unconventional love, a secret he keeps to himself, but he feels he could never love another woman. Sometimes, when the gallery is empty, he speaks to the painting, and in his heart, he believes she answers. One morning, Ethan arrived at work at his usual 5 a.m. "Good morning," he said to the dispatcher. "Which car am I taking today?" "Morning, Ethan. You've got number 505. Sorry, Mike had it last night, and it's a mess. That guy's a slob, never cleans his cab." "No problem," Ethan replied. "I've got time. I'll clean it." He started with the exterior, then moved to the inside. Just as the dispatcher had warned, the car was littered with empty cans and a pizza box. The back was cleaner, but as he was tidying up, something shiny on the floor caught his eye. It was an earring. He picked it up and examined it. It looked familiar. He thought he might have seen a passenger wearing it before. Company policy dictated that any lost items be turned into the office, but Ethan felt a strange connection to this earring and decided to hold on to it. After his shift, he went home, made a sandwich, and sat down in his small kitchen. He took out the earring and studied it again, trying to remember where he had seen it. Then it hit him. He rushed to his bedroom and grabbed the art gallery catalog. He flipped to the picture of Isabella Rosewood and looked closely at her earrings. It was a perfect match. The earring in his hand was identical to the one in the painting. He realized that if the jewels were real, the earring would be incredibly valuable. He knew he should turn it in, but he felt a pull to find the owner himself. After a quick shower, he went back to the taxi company to find Mike. The dispatcher told him Mike wouldn't be back until midnight. So Ethan went to the art gallery to see Isabella's portrait again. He was tempted to take out the earring to compare it, but he was afraid someone might see him and get the wrong idea. When the gallery closed, he went to a nearby park and sat on a bench, thinking about the painting and the earring. He must have dozed off because when he woke up, it was 11:40 p.m. He hurried back to the taxi company and waited for Mike. When Mike finally arrived, looking exhausted, Ethan questioned him about his female passengers from the previous night. "I had a lot of passengers, Ethan. I don't remember all of them," Mike said warily. "Please, try to remember," Ethan insisted. "Well, I dropped 2 women at a restaurant in the Jans district and an older couple at the metro station. Oh, and I took a young woman to a hotel. She seemed upset. That was my last fare." "Which hotel?" Ethan asked. "I don't remember, man. I'm beat. I'm going home." Ethan was at a loss, but then he remembered that the company keeps a digital record of every trip. He went to the office where Sarah, the night manager, was on duty. "Sarah, I need to know which hotel Mike dropped a passenger at last night," he said. "Why do you want to know?" she asked, suspicious. Ethan couldn't tell her the truth without risking his job, so he stalled. Just then, a loud crash came from the garage. Sarah ran out to see what was happening, leaving Ethan alone with the computer. He quickly looked up Mike's last job and found the name of the hotel. The next morning, his day off, Ethan went to the hotel. It was a small, budget-friendly place. He waited for hours, watching people come and go, not knowing who he was looking for. By 2 p.m., he was tired and hungry and feeling foolish. He decided to go to the art gallery and ask Isabella for guidance. When he arrived, he saw a young woman standing in front of Isabella's portrait, crying. He waited for her to finish, but then he overheard her talking to the painting. "Oh, great-grandmother," she sobbed, "I'm Chloe. I came here from my small town hoping for a better life. My grandmother was so kind and encouraged me to come. She gave me her mother's earrings for good luck. Our family was once wealthy, but now these earrings are all we have left. I got a job, but then I went on a date with a man from the office. He wasn't a nice person, and I had to run away. I took a taxi back to my hotel, and when I looked in the mirror, I realized I had lost one of the earrings. I can't go back to that office. I can't go home. I don't know what to do." Ethan stood frozen, listening to her story. He looked at the painting, and he felt as if Isabella's eyes were urging him to do something. "Isabella, what should I do?" he suddenly shouted. Chloe turned around, startled. "Who are you?" "My name is Ethan. I'm a taxi driver. I think I have something for you." He reached into his pocket and pulled out the earring. "Is this yours?" She took it, her eyes widening in disbelief.
Yes, it is. This is a miracle. Where did you find it? How did you find me? I'm a fan of this painting, Ethan explained, choosing his words carefully. When I found the earring, I thought it looked familiar. I came here to compare it to the one in the portrait. He decided it was best not to mention the rest of his journey for fear of sounding crazy. He then asked her, "Would you like to get some coffee with me?" Chloe smiled. "I'd like that very much, but first," she turned back to the painting. "Thank you, great-grandmother. You helped me." As they walked out of the gallery, Ethan glanced back at the portrait of Isabella Rosewood. He was certain he saw her smile and wave goodbye.